I really dislike that because it just takes us away from the story and from the fantasy of it all. And it just ends up making it feel like the real world, which misses the entire point of the genre. The next trend that needs to go is one I personally hate so much, and it's basically spies being the entire plot of the story. You guys know what I'm referring to here? If you are big readers in the genre, like, what is going on? We went from literally having barely any spice in these books.
We let Portful save us time and money with nutritious meals delivered straight to our door. It takes only 2 minutes to heat up, no preservatives, and no seed oils.
They actually taste like restaurant quality food. That means I actually look forward to every meal.
And no, it's all spice. Like, every few chapters, once the characters start being intimate like that, they just can't get their hands off each other. And for me, it kind of ruins the entire romance, because I feel like we wait for so long for the characters to get together, where they barely touch at the beginning of the story, and then once the big love confession happens, it all becomes about them being physical with each other, which kind of erases the entire "you are my one and only soulmate" storyline the story has been building up to, and turns it into a lusty story. And not only that, but these scenes are added in the weirdest parts of the story. Like, there would be an entire raging war happening outside the castle they're in, and they're too busy being all over each other. Mind you, they're supposed to be the ones in charge of the castle and the kingdom at that point of the story. So yeah, this ruins the entire romance for me, which is initially what made me love this genre so much. With the stakes being higher, making the romance more meaningful, especially in enemies to lovers dynamics, which usually left space to a lot of yearning. But apparently, not anymore. The next trend that really needs to go in fantasy stories that is heavily being used now is one that also irks me so much, because it again takes the reader out of the setting and out of the story, and it's the use of modern language. I cannot tell you how many times I found uses of modern language, like curse words or slang or allusions to internet slang in fantasy books I read. I feel like this is something we are seeing in all genres now, which I also feel like is not great writing in general, but it's especially bad when it's in fantasy or romantasy books. And I get that authors
Hi, Ruby.
sometimes do that to cut corners since they don't want to introduce their own version of slang in the story, or they want the story to feel more digestible for the readers and not feel so foreign. And at the same time, they want the characters to sound cool in some way, but I just hate it. I feel like it cheapens the writing, and as I said, takes us away from the world they worked so hard for us to get into in the first place. I feel like fantasy and the worlds in it are all about the small details. So when authors are careless about those, the world doesn't end up feeling believable.
Yeah, your
So
profile's cute.
just leave this trend behind. The next trend kind of falls into the category of the previous one, and it's the overuse of nicknames. The amount of times I cringed reading these nicknames, which are usually given to the female character by the male character, and they all range from sugar to cupcake to sweetheart to I don't know what they're even coming up with now. Like, why? And you know what's the worst part about all of this? It's the fact that the two characters barely just met, and then the male character comes up with a nickname on the spot.
Thank
I'm
you,
not
Ruby.
exactly sure
It's not a
what
bad name for a
started this
cat.
trend, but for me, it feels like authors now in the genre just have a checklist of things they want to add to the story that they think would make readers swoon and connect to the romance, but it ends up adding fakeness to the story, since it becomes obvious these things were added on purpose from how unnatural they feel in the story when they do come up. And so not only does this take away any originality the plot may have started out with, especially when it comes to the character dynamics, but it also
Thank
creates
you,
this
Ruby.
inauthenticity around it. Like, here we go again, another expected romantasy element added to the story. And most importantly, it just takes away from the romance, since it feels like things are moving way too fast between the two characters. And this kind of sets us up to be disappointed by these stories, since they're usually heavily promoted as these slow burn enemies to lovers with intense yearning involved kind of stories, where it turns out there's none of them. The next trend is one I feel like is getting really overdone and needs to stop being adopted by every fantasy and romantasy author, and it's the fact that every book in the genre is part of a series now. Like, what happened to standalone fantasy books? I miss those so much, and I feel like we need to bring them back. I have read maybe only one standalone fantasy book, and that was Heartless, and it was so much fun. I know not everyone may agree with me on this one, but I really feel like if authors focused more on putting all their efforts into one book, instead of knowing they have an entire series of 3 to 5 books where they could expand the story and the world and have enough space for the characters to develop, it would immensely help with the quality of these books becoming better. I think sometimes giving space for authors to write a lot creates so much fluff, and the outcome ends up being books that need to be cut down by 100 to 200 pages.
I might just practice.
I think it's a good challenge for authors because it will put a restriction on them to really write the best piece of work they could at the moment with a specific writing limit. And it's just as great for readers because they can really get immersed in this world and in the story, fully knowing this is all they get in it. So yeah, not everything has to be part of a series or part of a duology. Let's bring standalone books back in the genre. The next trend that really needs to go in the genre is the trend of repetitive, unoriginal titles. You know what I'm talking about, right? If you know what I'm referring to, I'm talking about the trend of every romantic book, and some fantasy books too, getting named using basically the same title structure, something of something and something. And also bonus point, if the cover has a sword on it or some kind of plant or like
There it is.
flowers, and there's maybe even a hint of
The 2026 Chevy Equinox is ready for your daily drives, weekend getaways, and everything in between. Plenty of cargo space, plus a big touchscreen that keeps all your tech right where you need it. It's more than an SUV. It's your Equinox. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Feel like your tooth sensitivity isn't severe enough to deal with? What if I told you Sensodyne has a fast and simple remedy? New Sensodyne Clinical Repair starts to repair sensitive areas of teeth after 60 seconds. I'm so excited to introduce this new product to patients. New Sensodyne Clinical Repair is absolutely amazing.
a crown or something like that. I feel like this is starting to change, which is amazing and exactly what we need. But still, so many books are named like that. And I think it's time we get a bit more creative with titles. Like, if there's
Thank you, Meldoc.
any genre where
Or
we can
Meldacy.
get as creative, not just in the titles, but literally with everything, it has to be romantasy and fantasy. It's just the perfect genre to do that. So let's let go of this trend, because what are we doing at this point? And last, but definitely not least, the trend I feel like needs to really be let go of in fantasy and romantasy is the repetitive plots we find in so many of these stories now. It's just so surprising, in my opinion, that so many of these stories have the same plots, when literally fantasy is boundless when it comes to the plotting limits. It's not bound by realism like romance or mystery, for example. There are literally no rules when it comes to fantasy. It's so easy to just come up with specific rules involving the world the story is set in.
Thank you, Kayla.
Unfortunately,
6'7"? 6'7".
writing something that
My nephews love that, and they got stuck in my head, and I was so mad.
may not be interested in learning a completely new system. So much so that these authors end up retelling the same story over and over again. The thief who becomes royalty, the princess who is forced into an arranged marriage, or the princess who is an undercover warrior at night, all of whom end up in the biggest position of power in the kingdom, gaining the chance to change the entire system and overthrow it. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I think it's such an empowering message and storyline, but also, can we have something new already? I like the messaging, but we don't need the same messaging to be constantly told within the same context. It could be told in 100 new ways. That's the fun of stories. That's the art of storytelling. Taking an age-old tale and reshaping it, and making it new all over again. Especially in fantasy and romantasy, which again, as I already said, are boundless. So yeah, I feel like this is a trend authors for sure need to let go of, because it is robbing all of us from new and exciting stories, ones that could really stay with us for a very long time. So there you have it, the 8 trends I feel like authors need to let go of in fantasy and romantasy. Of course, these are just my opinions, so I'd love to know yours. What do you think of these
No, I
trends?
don't.
Are you also tired of them? And what other trends do you think authors need to let go of in the genre? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss future videos. And if you want to connect more, you can follow me on my Instagram and my TikTok, linked in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate it so much. And yeah, we'll meet again next week. Mwah. Bye!
offers professional-grade products, easy ordering, and next-day delivery, making them the go-to play for everyone keeping arenas game day ready. Call, click, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Yes, JCPenney has summer fashion staples you need and trendy summer looks you want. Plus, join Rewards Access today, and you can get a $10 cash back
Yeah, if you want to.
at jcp.com/rewards. Yes, JCPenney. Exclusions apply.
Oh, now I'm saying right went wrong. No, not right now. And goodness knows the wicked lives lonely. And goodness knows the wicked die alone. And goodness knows. Thank you. Dude, I hate. Oh, that's fall. The wicked die alone. I'm trying to draw Glinda now. I got that song stuck in my head. Hi, Ruby. Does that count as a shout out? Goodness knows the wicked die alone. You've been real weird. Been a little weird, dude. Thank you. No. I'm drawing a specific thing. I can't just change her. This is Glinda. I hate drawing real people. I'm gonna try and do. Dude, Ariana has such big eyes. Thanks, Okura. I don't think it looks like her. I don't think this looks like Ariana. Oh shit, my computer. I need a picture of her with the wig, you know, the good witch. I haven't seen Wicked. Did y'all like Wicked? I know the songs. And goodness knows the wicked die alone. Goodness knows the wicked die. No one puts a lily on the grave. No, I'm not gonna do that. It's a meme. I don't hate I'm indifferent towards 6-7. I don't hate it as much as a lot of people do, but I'm not like psyched for it. It's funny. It's cute when my nephew and niece do it. I think it's funny, but other than that, I don't think of it. Not really. Yeah, I like your profile as a cat. You keep asking me this. It's a cute cat. It's a cute cat. Mm-hmm. Who's? Hi, Ruby. I was gonna say, who's Ruby? Uno, dos. Let's try one more time. Yeah, Ariana has just big eyes. I'm gonna try to go like completely stylized, you know? I'm not gonna try and be realistic with this one. Thank you. I'm trying to draw Ariana Grande as a Glinda the Good Witch. Bye, Ruby. I think this one's my most favorite. Oh, this one's the most realistic. I tried, but this is my most favorite. Alright. Ariana, what are you doing here? I hated the character Cat Valentine. Thanks, STR4. I hated the character Cat Valentine, but I always liked her as an actress. There's this one old Nickelodeon movie, Nickelodeon original. I don't really remember how many. They didn't have too many originals, but there's one. It was about this one kid. He liked to collect flavors, like the fucking mafia or some bullshit. And for whatever reason, he liked to collect flavors. And he was the guy you went to when you needed something. Hi, Ruby. So that's the thing. And then his best friend finds a baseball card. He finds a baseball card. He finds a baseball card. And the wicked die. His best friend finds a baseball card. And he goes to sell it. But they get swindled. Hi, Taco. But they get swindled. I think that's the name of the movie, Swindled. Swindled. They get, because I think it's an actual word, isn't it? To get cheaped. They got cheated out of the price. And they like go back. They're like, man, long story short, they don't get the card back. So his best friend's plan is to just steal it. Which I don't know why he thought that would work. I guess the dude was white, so maybe he was like, we'll get away with it. His best friend was black though, so he would have took the fall. But bye, Ruby. The wicked die alone. And goodness knows. Alphaba. Do you think there's anyone named Alphaba? I bet. I bet there's a lot of people named Alphaba. And goodness knows the wicked live alone. And goodness knows. I don't know if it's the angle of the reference photo I'm using or if whatever, but I'm not drawing all her micro braids. Dude, it literally takes days of work. And I mean, to just braid that, I'd kill myself if I were to sit for that long. God, I hate getting my hair. I hate getting my hair done. I don't even have thick hair. And goodness knows the wicked die. Damn. Cynthia! Cynthia, it's me! And goodness knows the wicked die alone. And goodness knows the wicked die alone. And goodness knows the wicked die alone. Damn, I made her eyes. She even got green eyes. That's crazy. I'd call her a freak too. That was uncalled for. I'm sorry. I shouldn't joke like that. She lived a hard life. And she died. Allegedly. Do you think there was like one munchkin in Oz that was like, I don't think she's dead. I don't think she's dead. I think it was a setup. And they're like, the witch is dead. Come on, Gerald. Stop it. Embarrassing us. He's like, no. Something like her doesn't just die. She's still alive. And they're like, right? Wouldn't that be hilarious? You are far too good. Don't know how you stand it. She's a princess, she's a body. I don't mean to be, but you are a saint. Oh, I die alone. And goodness knows the wicked. It's already 7 o'clock. I gotta stop reading so much. I spend all my time reading, and then I don't do anything. Well, that's like my main hobby. You know, that's my main bitch. And then drawing's my side hoe that I don't care about at all. I try to draw though, because I do like it. I love drawing. I just, you know, that makes you feel cold. Okay. Cynthia! I honestly think she's better than all these three. Okay, now I'm gonna do an angle one like I did. I wonder if that face paint's like sticky or something. Better not be all that money they got. They better use it for more than just fucking. Linda, you were just too good. Don't know how you do it. I could never. You don't mean it, you're a mother. We don't mean to be a hug, but you are a saint. Wild. Share someone's room. You're a saint. Damn. Fuck me. Feel that pen. Linda, you were far too good. Dude, one thing Alphaba loves, she is gonna do a side smirk like no one's business. I don't mean to be a thing, but you want. Oh, she has freckles. I know they give her freckles. She's adorable. Wizard, when I get my hands on you. No, I'm drawing Alphaba right now. I'm gonna try and do like a cartoony one, or at least as cartoony as I can get. Oh, we can die alone. I don't think that's true. I have green Sharpie. And I have a pink one. And goodness knows the wicked die lonely. I'm trying to think, what should be in her eye?